Exciting, exciting, Todd. I love this time of day. I love being able to impact people from coast to coast. I'm so grateful to have you here, man, and to be able to help these people grow in a big way.
I'm super grateful to be here as well. And as I was writing my business plan for 2023 and writing down what I was grateful for in 2022, I can tell you I'm super grateful for you and the impact that we've been able to have together. And I'm really excited for the impact I think we can continue to have, through HOA.com in 2023.
You know what? It's going to be awesome. There's so much good stuff happening. Guys, thank you for those of you who are just joining. We're going to get started in just a minute or two. We've got hundreds of people that are scheduled to be on this call. So if you're a mortgage loan officer and you're sitting here at the beginning of 2023 saying, okay, how do we crush it? How do we get back to the production that we did in 2021? We got a great plan. We're going to empower you with tips, trips, scripts, everything that you need to be able to take away from this call and immediately take action and generate deals. And we've got a couple people that literally, I know one of our guys generated 4 new loan applications in the first day that he started making his calls using our system. So they're going to love it. So thanks for being here, Todd.
It's almost mind blowing, and it almost sounds made up when you say that, but it's absolutely true. And I think that is the biggest piece of what we're going to talk about today is, the end results can be what's the action you're going to take at the end. Because what I always find is there's lots and lots of opportunities out there, and those who win are those who actually say yes, jump in, and then take the action required to grow.
I love it. You're so right. And so we're going to ask you to take action right now, which is to put in chat the city and state that you live in, and even the company. Say what company you work for and what city you're in, and then we'll be able to do some shout outs. It's always fun, isn't it, Todd? We just got off one of our group coaching calls. I know we had people from Portland to Pittsburgh that were on the call, and a lot of cities in between. So it's so much fun to see that.
Well, yeah, and the fun part for me is I actually see a couple people who were on that call are here to continue to learn alongside of all of you today.
That's awesome. I love it. We got Colorado Springs, C2 Financial, Revolution Mortgage in Tampa, Revolution in New Orleans, Nova Home Loans in Tucson. Awesome. Revolution in PA, Supreme Lending in Dallas, Texas, Lake Placid, New York with CCM, Baytown, Texas. I don't know how to say that. Narragansett. Oh boy, I'm slaughtering it. Narragansett, Rhode Island. Wow, that is awesome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Stacy's on here. Cool. We're going to show your video, Stacy. Thank you for sending that testimonial. That's amazing. Tennessee, Phoenix, Austin, Michigan, Texas, Colorado, over Chicago. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is fantastic. We want to respect your time. So we're going to get this kicked off right away. We've got a ton to cover. We are going to record this, but we've got a lot to share. So we're going to go pretty quickly. Hopefully you don't mind. We're going to optimize this and get this set. Let's get this going and start off 2023 with a bang. All right, cool. Fantastic. Guys, what we talked about is winning more loans in less time. That's the conversation that we're going to have. And just so you know, at what we're going to do, Todd and I are going to pour a ton into you. We're going to share with you what we're doing here at HOA.com, how you can use hyper-local social farming to really double your income and triple your time off. Totally possible. You need more referral partners. Spoiler alert, that's what we're going to be talking about a lot, is you're localizing your marketing, boosting your referral partnerships. And at the end of our conversation, we've got an opportunity for you. I'm just going to tell you straight up, the opportunity is we're looking for local mortgage experts that we can partner with and promote in all of the local HOA communities, okay? Most of you know that homeowner associations are a massive part of the real estate world. There's over 370,000 HOAs, and in fact, 53% of all homeowners live in an HOA. Now, most of them hate their HOA, let's just be real. So we're on a mission to totally disrupt the homeowner association world, and you're gonna love what you see, and we're gonna walk you through it and share exactly what we're doing. We're gonna show you what top producing mortgage lenders who are generating over $100 million are doing. What's the secret to their success, and what are they doing to weather the storm? We're going to show you a program that'll actually get realtors excited about taking your call and meeting with you. Todd's going to be telling you how he's literally batting 1,000 when making these phone calls, and we're going to show you an incredible way that you can add real value to realtors so they want to work with you and they're committed to sending you their business. And we're going to show you how you can be promoted as the #1 top trusted mortgage expert in your local market. Now, if you stay to the end of the presentation, we've got a gift for you. We're going to send you our free referral partner blueprint. This has got tips, scripts. It tells you everything you need, who you should be partnering with, how to approach them, and how to build your business today. So my promise is this: hang out with us for 10 minutes. If you don't like what you hear, if you don't feel like we're making a difference and this isn't applicable to you today, then walk away. But I'm telling you, we've got so much gold here, it's going to make a huge difference. Now, before I bring Todd on, let me just tell you real quick who I am and why this makes a difference, okay? My name is Brandon Barnum. I'm the CEO of HOA.com, and I was in the mortgage business for 12 years, from 1997 to 2009. I got out after the last crash, let's just call it what it was, the Big Short, and I went back to building technology. This is my 9th technology platform. My last had over 5 million members that had all committed and created their accounts to boost their referral partnerships and boost their referral business. So I'm the author of the best-selling book, Raving Referrals. We're going to talk a lot about generating raving referrals, and it is my pleasure and honor to introduce my partner and friend, Todd Buxman. Todd?
Hey, thanks, Brandon. I'm super excited to be here. And, for those who don't know who I am, I've been in the business for over 2 decades, 20 plus years. These days, I spend my time, besides HOA.com, working on Win by Noon, a product that I created in the community that I lead and just have super passion about. My team that still exists in the Phoenix area has closed over $1 billion worth of loans by referral. And I'm very proud of that. Although I'm out of the day-to-day of doing loans, I'm proud of what they've done. And really the things that Brandon and I will teach about are the things that help create that success for us. I co-lead the Mortgage Coach Productivity Mastermind with a good friend of mine, Dave Savage. And really that's helped me out. I've interviewed over 500 loan officers, over 350 real estate agents, over the past decade. And I really like to share what I've learned from all of them. I mean, there's just so much to learn from doing that. And then the last thing here on the slide says leader of the Modern Mortgage Summit. That's an event that Dave and I created during the pandemic. That was the #1 attended virtual mortgage event the last 3 years. And we're taking it live in March in Las Vegas and teamed up with Renee Rodriguez for that. So we're super excited for that as well.
Yeah, and we're both just committed to empowering people. I mean, that's what our purpose is. That's what we love doing, is just helping people win and win by noon. You're going to hear about that as we go through this. Todd, I'd love you to share the story of the buffalo, please.
I think it's a great story to start off, especially here at the beginning of 2023. And, animals have this sixth sense that we humans don't have. They're closer to the ground. They've got 4 hooves in most cases that are right to the ground. And so what happens is the story of the buffalo is that when there's a storm coming, you've got all these animals out in the field, and you've got the cows, and the cows are all sitting there on the ground, and they can hear the storm coming. And if it's coming from the north, the cows start heading south. They are moving as fast as they can, which we know cows don't move that fast, but they're moving as fast as they can to get away from the storm. And that's where we are now. And I see a lot of loan officers that are running the wrong direction. They're running away from the storm versus the buffalo, which is what because you're all here. But the buffalo feels that same sense. They feel that storm coming in from the north. And instead of running the opposite direction, they run into the storm. And by running into the storm, they're running through the storm, and they get out of the storm faster. So if you can imagine that, the cow's running along with the storm, and they're in the storm for longer. And the buffalo who runs into it and doesn't procrastinate gets actually through it faster and stronger on the other side. And that's what we're all about here today, is helping you all get through that storm, through it faster, because it's not pretty out there right now. But we know that if you actually can implement these ideas, that you can be the buffalo and get through it faster.
Yeah, well said. And there's good news. There's good news. I was just at the Mortgage Bankers Association conference a couple months ago. I was at NAR, National Association of Realtors conference as well. And the good news is things are going to change, right? There's over 5 million real estate transactions that are projected to close in 2023. And you guys are in a great industry, right? The reality is, according to the New York Times, on average, you earn $4,350 per loan originated. Now, that's different for some of you depending on the market that you're in, but there's a lot of income that you can earn. And even if you're only closing 4 deals a month on average, 48 deals a year, that's over $200,000 in personal income to you. So we're going to show you how you can hit that mark and more. We're going to walk you through all of this. But first, let's share some statistics, because Todd Bookspan and I were at Todd Duncan's Sales Mastery Conference a couple of months ago, and he shared some really interesting statistics. And one was that only 2% of all mortgage loan officers surveyed said that they're highly confident in their business plan for 2023. And maybe that's you. Maybe you're sitting here today and you're going, oh man, I know I should be excited about the new year, but what do I do? What's my plan? If you don't have a plan, then you're planning to fail. So we want you to walk away from this call with a plan of action. The other thing that was interesting is Todd Duncan shared that only 14% of LOs surveyed are measuring their results every business day. And Todd, I know that's something you're super passionate about with your Win by Noon system, aren't you?
Well, heck yeah. You know what measure gets done, and how do you know what you need to do today if you don't actually know what that activity is going to give you as far as results?
Absolutely. And we're going to be talking a lot about results, but let's first talk about some strategies. Now, there are some of these, if you've been in the business for a while, you know these are the core strategies that you need to do. I was talking to Jen Duplessis yesterday. I've got a video from her that we'll play in a second. She said that she was doing a 5-hour training yesterday for loan officers. And she said, everybody said it's time to get back to the basics. She's like, if you're not doing the basics, what are you doing? Well, these are the basics, but we're going to show you a special twist on them that you can do in a massively powerful way. So there's 5 things that you should be doing in 2023 to grow your business. Number 1, you know this, work by referral. Number 2, you know this too, build strong referral partnerships. Number 3, and we're going to get into this in depth, is establish your expert authority. Some of you aren't doing this to the level that you should. We're going to give you some strategies to do that better. Number 4, localizing your marketing. Number 5, be a charity champion. So when it comes to that first strategy of working by referral, you're probably already aware, but 90% of people say they trust recommendations from people they know. It's how we're wired as human beings. If Todd says, you got to go to this restaurant, see this movie, or take this class, guys, I'm in. I don't even need to know more. If he says it's awesome, I'm going to trust him and I'm in. Number 2, people are 400% more likely to hire you when they're referred to to you, right? When somebody else says, you got to work with Stacy, you got to work with Ivan, you got to work with John, then already your trust is higher and you want to work with that person. And that's one of the reasons that referred clients are 16% more profitable overall. And Todd, I know that's super important too for branch managers, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. I mean, anytime that you have a referred client, they are less likely to result in a price exception. And in the end, it's also, as a loan officer, just to know that that person totally trusts you. They don't feel like they need that other opinion, and therefore you're not going to be in that competitive situation you may be in otherwise. And to me, when I was doing loans, that just made me breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that I could just give my best and pour into them and not have to worry about that.
Yeah, because it's all about the service, not the price. And I love one of the things that I've heard you say, Todd, which is, competing on price is a race to the bottom. So that's not where you want to be. When you're working by referral and when you master the art of the ask, that's when you're able to get more deals, and people are all focused around the service that you're providing. The more that you can elevate your expert status, you can focus on service. But I want to equip you real quick with a chapter of this book called Mastering the Art of the Ask, okay? When you're working with a new client, one of the things that you need to say before they walk away is, thank you so much for choosing to do business with me. I'm super excited to serve you. By the way, I work primarily by referral. This is called setting the stage. And would it be okay if once I've wowed you with my service, once I've shown you the difference that I can make, would it be okay if I ask you for referrals at a later date? Now, 100% of people say yes because you're not putting them on the spot. You're just saying, look, I'm committed to wowing you with the service that I provide. That's called setting the stage. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to listen for the referral triggers. Now, later on in the process, whether it's the closing table or it might even happen before, and it should if you're famous for your follow-up, which again, we teach in the raving referral system. But listen for the referral triggers. That's the, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. You've done such a great job. Thank you so much. Basically, you're listening for a thank you. Once they say thank you in any form, then you say, I'm so glad you feel that way. As you remember, I love helping people like you buy their first home, buy investment properties, refinance, whatever it is that they've just done, reinforce that behavior. And then you go and ASK to GET. That's when, once you've heard that referral trigger, now it's time to ask if they know anybody else that's looking to buy or looking to invest, because you love to help them just the way they've helped you. Todd, we just got off a group coaching call and you were really talking about the power and importance of asking. People don't ask enough, do they?
They don't. And I think the interesting thing that I found, I did 3 weeks in a row, the last 3 weeks of December, I called over 100 realtors in one day each week. And the thing that I was really surprised is how many realtors said that they have not been getting hammered by phone calls from the loan officers. And I think that part of the reason that loan officers aren't making calls, well, in fact, I know, because I ask them, they're like, well, all the realtors are just tired of getting so many calls from loan officers, which is totally untrue. If you don't call and you don't ask, guess what? You're not going to get the business. But when you do call and you do ask, you know what, you're going to probably end up with some appointments that you did not expect with some people who are definitely your targets.
I love that you're in the lab with us on this, Todd. So thank you for making those calls. I'm still impressed that you made hundreds of calls to realtors, cold calls, but that's how you learn, is by doing. So how do you wow your clients? One of the things that we teach is to offer a VIP concierge service. And this is one of the things that we do at HOA.com. So just so you know, as we go through this, I'm going to share some of the strategies that we're using for our mortgage experts and our elite experts, whether you choose to apply and be considered to partner with us or just go on your own. These are the things that you should put in practice for your business because they make a difference. One of the ways that we're doing this, and we're actually launching this here over the next 30 days, is a VIP concierge service that's completely white labeled to you, okay? You'll see the photo, name, and phone number so that anytime somebody is moving and they need to change their address, set up utilities, get a quote on insurance, set up their internet and cable, or any of the other things that a new mover needs, you're going to have a VIP concierge service where somebody, your buyer, will have a dedicated person that they'll work with through the entirety of the process by phone, text, or Zoom and email, and that way will guide them through the process. So create a concierge service for your people. Offer it so that you can help your new movers in one of the most stressful times in their life and wow them with your service and support. Okay, this is just one idea, one example, but the reason that we love that strategy is not only do you wow your clients, you also wow your referral partners. Part of your job is separating yourself from your competition. What are you doing that others aren't so that you're not competing on rate and fee? Okay, get out of that game, be in the service game, and that's about building strong referral partnerships. Todd, share with them some of the stories and how you have gone and built your business and done $1 billion in closed loans as a result of your referral partnerships.
Well, I mean, I think we all know it, right? As a general rule, if we had a great partner, that we would have a great business. And so for me, really, it was this whole idea of just getting out there and helping them with what they want. So think about the power of the previous slide, the VIP concierge service. I mean, what an easy in for you to get a meeting with a realtor when you can ask them, hey, just wanted to talk to you about, will you ask the question first, do you have a VIP concierge service to help your clients move? 99% of them are going to say no. And you say, awesome. Hey, would it be worth 5 minutes of your time if I could get together and share with you how I can offer that to you for your clients for free? And so ultimately for my team, it's really been built around, 3 primary large referral partnerships that we have that have different layers within them. But ultimately that's the goal. The goal, we know, this past year, you've had to work with more realtors to get your business to stay the same or close to the same. Where in the kind of olden days, we'll call them, you could work with less realtors and get more from each realtor to have the business. And so really the goal of this whole idea is, as you're looking through all these different opportunities. I mean, I built my business the first couple of years. I did 152 transactions in my first full year of business, primarily getting business from a property manager and a couple of financial advisors. And so when you really look at this whole list here, there's so much opportunity. And that's really what we're going to continue to equip you with, the easy tools to help them want to meet with you and help them want to make it so easy to say yes to work with you in the future.
I love it. And you just teed up our Agenda Plus this video. That's perfect. Oh, it would be perfect if we could hear her, huh? Hang on.
Number one strategy that helped you close over $1 billion in mortgage originations in your career? Well, the answer is simple: referral partners. Building deeper, stronger, richer relationships with your referral partners is the key to ultimate success in the mortgage business. Period. End of story. It's really, really that simple. Honestly, it's just a numbers game. I was able to build a $1 billion business with just 22 referral partners. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't have other partners who trickled business into me. But what was most important is these 22, I call them my apostles, these 22 consistently sent me business every single month. Like I said, it's purely a numbers game. Having just 10 referral partners sending you consistently 2 referrals per month will get you in the top 1%, if not more, in the mortgage industry. So that's why it's so critical to have great referral relationships so that you can be a game changer. You can crack the code on the business of mortgage lending. So if you haven't built up your referral partners in this economy, it's time to start.
Yeah, it's so important. And I want you to answer real quick, and I'm going to have Spencer go ahead and launch the poll if you can, Spence. The number of referral partners that you have currently. And let's make sure we get that going. Okay, so go ahead and answer that poll real quickly. And just curious, we consider an active referral partner somebody that's given you at least one deal in the last 90 days, okay? So if they've sent you at least one loan over the last 90 days, just answer that poll real quick, and then we'll show the results. And guys, this is mind-blowing. I have surveyed thousands of business professionals with this same exact question, and the results that we're seeing so far are a little different than what we typically see, but you're going to be blown away by how this works. So go ahead and answer real quick. I'm going to go ahead and launch and end this in 3, 2, 1. Okay, cool. Let's see the results. So you're seeing the results right here. Okay, there's 7% of you that said that they have no referral partners. Okay, and that's okay. That's where you start. Now, about a third of you said that you have 1 to 3 referral partners. About 26% say 4 to 6, 14% say 7 to 9, and 19% say you have 10 plus. Now, that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that, because honestly, when we've done this poll nationally, it's typically only 2% that have 10 or more referral partners. Look at just how profitable referral partnerships are for your business. So you guys are all math whizzes, but let's just say you have one referral partner that's giving you, even if they're just giving you one loan per quarter, right, at $4,350, that's $17,400 in income per year at 1 per quarter. If you can get one deal a month from that partner, that's $50,000. And I had one partner that I generated that in my first 2 years in the business. Okay, so that's totally doable. Now let's take it to the next level. What if you have 5? That's what that is looking like, right? $87,000 in income just from 5 people sending you one deal per quarter. Now, we focus on the magic number at HOA.com is 10. We want you to have at least 10 referral partners, and then we're going to teach those referral partners to bring 10 others, home service pros. That gets you nearly a $200,000 a year business if they only give you one loan a quarter, $500,000 if they're doing one a month. And then we have our elite program, that's 20 referral partners. And look at that income, $348,000 if you just get one deal per quarter. And if you're able to get one a month from 20 people, that's $1 million a year business. Now, Todd, you've been in this world for over 20 years. and I know this has been a secret to your success, and you've been coaching loan officers from across the country. What have you seen be that magic number in your experience?
I think it's been a moving target. Like I said, I think, you look at Jen Duplessis, right? She did it with a dozen referral partners, and that's the best, right? There's no doubt if you can have fewer doing more, right? Think about it from a maintenance perspective, it's less calls. I am seeing as we wrapped up 2022, we're heading into 2023, that it's going to take more referral partners. But think about this, if you can get 10 that are really solid, I mean, at one per quarter, that's 174,000. And so that's where I would start as my goal if I'm someone who has less than that. And then just don't be afraid of someone who's only sending you one per quarter. I have so many loan officers who say, I don't want to work with someone unless they can send me one or two a month. But, one or two, or one per quarter, you can see here is super powerful.
It's a game changer. So that's the goal, right? Whether you're doing less than 10, your goal should be to get 10. If you're already at 10, double it, go to 20, right? But it's quality over quantity, just as Todd was talking about. Make sure that you've got quality relationships. Now, when it comes to how you're meeting new real estate agents, we got some people that are doing cold calls. Heck, Todd called a couple hundred realtors just in December alone. Others of you are going to industry events where realtors are hanging out. Broker opens and open houses are a good way to meet realtors. And then also there's networking groups. Now, we actually recommend you start your own networking group. At HOA.com, we empower our mortgage experts to create your own business alliance meeting where once a month you're bringing your people either to your office or your realtor's office, and then you're building strong referral partnerships with a group of people who serve homeowners every day. So however you're doing that, however you're going about that, make sure that you've got a plan and a strategy and that you take the action required to win. This all comes down to action. And the reality is you guys are in the business development game. If you're not taking a loan application or following up on an existing file and process, the rest of your time is spent in business development. We've talked about our business alliances. That's one of the things that we do here at HOA.com. And we've got a whole blueprint. And every month we give you new agendas. Ours is much less of like a commercial where everybody's standing up and giving their commercials. That's a piece of it. It's more a mini mastermind. We give you a training agenda where you're going to be able to stand up and you can literally, we have some people that they read it word for word, others study the script and then do it in their own voice. Whatever that looks like for you, you'll be able to teach right out of the Raving Referrals book and then ask questions that stimulate a conversation. You're creating dialogue so that all of your referral partners get to know each other as quickly as possible and trust each other so that you're generating more business. And then you should also have a plan of how you're going to promote your referral partners. What are you doing right now? Because if it's realtors, their number one desire is more deals typically, right? Overall, they want more deals. So the more that you can show them how you're promoting them and actively helping them win their business, the more business they're going to send your way. Number 3, we're going to talk about establishing your expert authority. Todd, I know this is something that you're super passionate about. You teach your people to be educating, right? Putting on investment workshops, webinars, lunch and learns, and it's a super strategy that I think people don't do often enough.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, in the end, if you become the source of the knowledge, then you're the source that people want to know and that people want to work with. And, we talked about the investment strategies. I love it because you said, well, why not just get one client who can do, 3 or 4 or even more transactions? And for me, that's where I mentioned my first year, I did 152 transactions. What I didn't say was that over 20 of them came from one client who I referred or who I refinanced over 20 properties for that year.
It's brilliant, right? Because if you can attract investors as clients, then you're doing more quantity. Instead of one deal every 5 years, you can be looking at 5 deals every 1 year. But you also elevate your expert status. The more you educate people, the more they come to trust you, and now they're recommending and referring you to others. Todd, I appreciate the fact that you invited me onto your neighborhood real estate show, and you use this as a strategy to elevate, and typically you're interviewing realtors. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. You could just Google the website of the show name and you can see I just recently interviewed the #1 individual agent in Maricopa County and all of the Phoenix metro area. And I didn't know her beforehand, but guess what? She was excited to get to come on and share what she's passionate about. In this case, it was selling houses that are off market that are over $15 million. But then also now has given me the opportunity to this quarter go into her brokerage and then teach her agents as well. And so anytime that you can become the expert, then you have this opportunity to create more opportunity out of that.
Well, and people don't know that you're sitting in a real estate office right now. You're at a KW office because they brought you in to teach their people. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. The team here did 370 transactions, $189 million last year. And I laughed because there's a parking spot out front. They had a little sign reserved for Todd Bookspan. And, lo and behold, my team is not their preferred lender, but we talked about investments. And because the fact that me and my business partner who runs the team now own investment property, even though they've got a preferred lender, that I can promise you that this last year when they've had investor clients, guess who they've referred it to? They've referred it to our team because they know we practice what we preach. So as you go through and you think about these concepts, you can think about how I started this 20 years ago with that one property management company, become an investor, used it to A, grow my wealth, but more importantly, B, educate others, and then become more attractive to do business with.
Honestly, it's one of the reasons I wrote the book. I wrote the book for the HOA.com community, all the pros that don't know how to build their business. But the more you establish your expert authority, the more authority you're going to have. Okay. So one of the things that we do with our mortgage partners is that we give you a badge that you can integrate into your email signature, your website, your social media. So people know that you've been approved by HOA.com. It just boosts your authority. You'll also go through the raving referrals system. And if you go through the online training modules, you're going to get a certificate of completion. That's something that you can add in your social media, add to your website, add to your bio as additional credentials. So take a look at the credentials that you already have. And some of you just need to add those into your marketing. If you're not already integrating that and sharing people, you've got to be a shameless self-promoter and let people know what you've achieved so that it elevates your status in their eyes. And one of the things that Todd and I are working for and excited about in 2023 is we're going to launch our Raving Referrals for Mortgage Pros book. Okay. This will be the third book in the series. We're super excited about this. And we're looking for some people that we can celebrate your success and actually talk about you in the book. Okay. So if in fact you decide to come on board with us, we're looking for people that are crushing it out there that we can celebrate you and elevate your success through that. Now, the next thing that we want to talk about is localizing your marketing. Realtors for decades have been farming markets, right? And we talked at the beginning about hyper-local social farming and how you can really localize your marketing. But the reality is most LOs don't think this way. You think about a shotgun approach where you want to get your message out to the masses. And while that's awesome, what's more important is the frequency of your follow-up. If you want to become famous, you've got to follow up with people famously. You've got to have them see your name over and over and over again. And this is what realtors have done on a hyper-local basis. Todd, you tell the story, and I think it was Tom Ferry that did the experiment. Would you share that story with us?
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's just so amazing to know that that there's such an opportunity within your footprint, within your doorstep. And I think what people forget is that when you farm the neighborhood that you are in, when you farm the location where you're super passionate about and you're a member of the community or in a surrounding community that's nearby, you have this opportunity to work with people who want to work with you. They want to work with you because you are part of that area and part of that group.
Yeah, super important, guys. And Tom Ferry did a study, and they actually created a fictitious realtor and they marketed to a community for 8 weeks. And every week people got a postcard with this realtor's name and information. And at the end of the 8 weeks, they did a survey to find out who the community trusted. And lo and behold, it was the fictitious realtor, but it was the repetition of the brand recognition that created that trust factor. And so think about localizing your marketing. We're going to share with you a great quote from Margaret Wheatley. It says, "There's no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about." We're going to talk about charity champions in a moment. So when you couple localizing your marketing with being a charity champion, it's super, super powerful. Now, at HOA.com, what we're doing is we're building community pages for every neighborhood in America. Now, we're starting with HOA communities, homeowner association communities. I shared at the beginning of this presentation that there are 370,000 HOAs out there. And what is important about that is everyone that lives in one of those HOAs identifies with being a neighbor in that community. So here I'm going to show you the example of what it looks like for Santan Ranch. And what you see is that we're identifying one mortgage expert that we trust, that is the exclusive mortgage lender for that community. They're able to sponsor a realtor at no cost to them. And then we invite you to invite your home service team, all those referral partners, so that you're co-marketing and marketing together. Now, each of these pages is search engine optimized, as you might imagine. This is to attract the people that are out there searching for things like different home services. Well, we want to help you work together as a team, and that way you're referring business back and forth with your carpet cleaners, electricians, and everyone else. Now, in addition to that, on these pages, we've done a deal with Home Scout. Many of you probably know the company Home Scout. We are big supporters and fans and ambassadors for Home Scout because we are doing an integration right now where we have 93% of all the homes for sale, 93% of all the MLS listings that are going to be integrated right now. They're programming that to be integrated into these local communities to attract buyers that are people that are thinking about buying a home. Right? We're going to capture those so that you can refer those to your realtors. And also, as you see at the bottom, there's the SEO for all the different communities. Now, in addition to that, we also create your own personal page. Now, this one is for Matt Baker, our elite expert. So we create a page on HOA.com. You get the elite expert or mortgage expert badge, depending on what level you're approved for. It's all about you. It obviously has your NMLS number and then the communities that you serve, but most importantly, the realtors that you recommend. Now, this is the give. And this is where I said earlier, Todd's batting 1,000. Todd, as you've been sharing this opportunity for realtors to get sponsored and be the community connectors for these HOA communities, what's the response been?
100%. It was kind of crazy. And that was part of the reason I decided my crazy idea that I was going to call 100 realtors in a Zoom meeting where I had the camera on me. I had my phone unmuted so people could hear, my phone was on speakerphone and I was unmuted so people could hear the conversations that I was having. And I figured I was going to talk about HOA.com to all 100 realtors that I was calling. And lo and behold, since every time I mentioned it to someone, they're like, I'm in, it wasn't even like, hey, let's have a meeting, let's talk about it. I mean, everyone was so 100% in that I actually had to throttle it back and then be a lot more selective about who it was I was going to invite to work with our team.
I love it. And we want you to be selective and strategic, right? We actually have a program where we'll make those calls for you. And before we do, we check MMI to make sure that folks are top producers. But before we get into how the HOA.com program works, the last of our 5 strategies is to be a charity champion. Now, there's some amazing statistics. 86% of consumers, they're likely to purchase from purpose-driven companies. Okay. This comes down to what message are you saying out there? What's the impact that you're making in your local community? 89% of corporate execs say companies that lead with purpose have a competitive advantage in today's marketplace. What are you doing to impact your communities? What are you doing to share? You're probably donating, you're probably volunteering, you might even be on a board. But are you telling that story to your social sphere? Do your past clients and your referral partners know the impact that you're making? My wife and I both volunteer for Big Brothers Big Sisters here in Phoenix. She's actually was the Big of the Year for 2022. And so that's just an organization we love. I was just with my little brother Monday night, and we go in to play video games, right? At HOA.com, we create community impact campaigns. And every month we give you swipe copy, okay? Campaigns that are plug and play that you can just copy and paste that you can share socially so that you're constantly keeping your brand top of mind, building that brand awareness like we talked about with the Tom Ferry experiment. But also I want to point to this last one because we're a veteran-owned company. Okay, my business partner, our president, served in the U.S. Army and did 6 tours over in the desert, and we're passionate and we're patriotic, but we're passionate about honoring our veterans. So that's just something you need to know about who we are as a company and our culture and what's important to us. So what's important to you? Share that with the communities and your social sphere. Make sure to integrate that into your marketing. It'll elevate your trust factor, and quite frankly, you'll get more fulfillment out of it than anything. Will you gain business? Yes. But more importantly, you're going to gain fulfillment. There's nothing that feels better than making a difference in others. And Todd, I know this is something you're super passionate about too.
Well, I just love it anytime that you can impact the community, right? I love that word of it, that you can have impact. And you talked about it, you're having fun alongside of the people, that you care about. This is something that I did back when I started originating loans within the school where my kids went to school. And ironically, I used it to build a relationship with a top realtor whose kids went there because I said, hey, let's impact the school community together. And so this is just one way that you can come in here. And really what I love about it is what stops us all from doing this is the whole idea of how to put it together, what to do, what to say. And, it's just one of those things that HOA.com helps you do. It's the easy button for you to get these things done.
Yeah, and we look at it as we're doing it together. We can't impact the community without your partnership. So that's one of the reasons we want you on board with this program. We know that in 5 years from now, every neighborhood in America is going to have these events happening every single month. The only question is that going to happen with you as the approved mortgage expert, or is that going to be somebody else? Here with the FAM project, what we're working on is actually bringing bounce houses out to the community. So we bring the party to the park, and that makes such a difference. So just to wrap up this training part, we're going to switch into kind of the opportunity to partner with HOA.com. But if you need to take a screenshot of that, just do it real quick. These are the things that you should be doing. We talked about going back to the basics. Right? These are the things that helped Todd do $1 billion in his business, that helped me close $500 million when I was in the mortgage industry. So this is back to the basics, but this is what you need to do to build your business. Now, at HOA.com, we've created what we call an industry expert program, and we're solely focused right now on the mortgage industry. It's my background. Todd's one of our investors and partners, just transparently with you. So we're going to be building this company together over the years to come. And we're looking for people that are interested in partnering with us. You can go to HOA.com and click on the application at the top, and you can start to apply. Just so you know, we have a number of people that have already on this program. We launched it about 90 days ago. We've already got loan officers that are participating from some of the biggest companies on the planet. And for those of you who are on here that are already part of it, we love you. Thank you for being on this. We're so excited to have you on it. So we have 3 different levels. I'm going to go from the best down to our basic, okay, just so you know. So we start with what we call our Elite Expert Program, and this is a done-for-you referral partnership program. Now, this isn't for everybody. We only allow people that are at about 20 million in total production to be on this program, but this is done for you referral partnerships. And the reason I say that we only allow, because it's got to be a fit for you financially. This is a $20,000 program, just so you know. It's 2 years on the program, but what we do is we help you build relationships with 20 different referral partners, okay? We actually make the calls. We reach out to top producing agents, and then we ensure that they're interested and that they're committed to working with you. They understand that in order for them to be approved as the sponsored pro, to be that community connector, that they have to work with you and do business with you. Okay, so this is our Elite program. It's 20 partnerships, 20 communities that you're licensed in, and you have those communities over the next 2 years. It also includes one-on-one laser coaching. What is that? You're going to have my phone number. You're going to be able to text me specifically, directly, if you've got a question. Now, if we have a laser coaching session, we also have other coaches. It's not just me, just so you're clear, but you will have my cell number. Before you schedule a follow-up laser coaching session, we're going to give you homework. You need to do that work, and then we're going to hold you accountable. Once you've done it, you can schedule the next. It's unlimited. You can talk to us as often as you want, as long as you're doing the work. Now, Todd and I do twice a month, we do a win by noon coaching call. We just got done from our last. So we do that on the first and third Wednesday of every month. You'll be invited to that as well. And then weekly, we have biz growth coaching calls for everyone at HOA.com that's on our different membership levels. And that's general business growth, which you can use to add value to your financial advisors, painters, plumbers, all the other folks. We allow you to give that to them as well. Then I mentioned earlier the Raving Referrals program. You're going to have a login. It's a virtual class. It takes a little over 4 hours to go through the entire certification program, but you're going to have the entire process and know exactly how to build your referral businesses. And then we have our elite homeowner concierge service that we talked about earlier. So that's part of the solution that you'll have access to. You'll be able to give that to as many homeowners as you want, both past clients and new clients, to take care of everything when they're moving. And it's just a super important value, and they love it. And you can offer it to your referral partners as well. In addition to that, we have our Business Alliance program. We're going to give you a turnkey program, and every month we're going to give you a new alliance agenda and a training video that you can watch. And if you have any questions, we give you full support on that. And then the monthly impact campaigns we do for those are done for you every month. And then the expert profile and badge. So I'm going to just show you a couple of people that are on this and what they've experienced so far. And then Todd, I'd love you to just kind of share your thoughts as we get into this.
Hi, this is Matt Baker, and I just wanted to say a quick message about HOA.com and the power of using that tool with regards to realtors. It's been super easy, a great, easy conversation to kind of bring into the, hey, let's work together aspect. I'm actually here on vacation in Cabo for the holidays, and HOA.com and upgrading to Elite Expert has allowed me to go to vacation, and they are processing all of the onboarding. They're doing all the training, making it really easy to partner with realtors. So if you haven't checked out HOA.com, do it right now. Thanks. Have a great day. Enjoy your holidays.
I love it. You guys are the first people to see that because he just sent it to us over the Christmas holiday. Here's Stacy Dowling.
Hi there, Stacy Dowling with Revolution Mortgage. Hey, I just wanted to share with you guys that I am so happy that I decided to become an Elite Expert with HOA.com. They have really helped me take my mortgage business to the next level. I'm so glad that I said yes. They've helped me create a lot of really solid referral relationships. They even will call on my behalf and set up appointments with top producing real estate agents. I love working with HOA.com. They are like an extension of my team. They're my marketing team. And one of the reasons that we are again going to close over 100 million in 2023. If you want to make more money in less time and create long-lasting referral relationships, become an HOA.com mortgage expert today. Say yes to success.
All right. I love it. Todd, anything you want to add there?
Well, I mean, how can you top that? Say yes to success. I feel like every time, every year, especially at this time of the year, the beginning of the year, we're always looking for how can we propel ourselves faster to our goals, and how can we make it easier? And so I feel like, regardless of the level, obviously the Elite Expert level is, the true easy button, but the other levels have easy buttons as well to help everyone grow their business. And so I think that's what I'm excited to hear. Have you share with everyone else the other levels as well?
Absolutely. You're totally well said. That's the top of the line. But with each of the programs that we offer, you're going to be able to grow your business. Here's just a couple of realtor feedback we got. Number one, amazing people at HOA.com are just that amazing. So grateful to be part of this dynamic, talented, driven organization. They've helped me push my career into overdrive. That's what we're looking for. And I love this came from one of the realtors that had gotten sponsored by one of these mortgage experts you just saw. It says, thanks for hooking us up with HOA.com. We had a wonderful conversation today with Allie. She's amazing. Can't wait to get started. We really appreciate that you chose us. Okay, that's what you want to hear from the realtors that you work with. So the second program that we have is a done with you program. So this is where you're going to make the calls, just like Todd Bookspan does. The first one was the elite expert will do it for you. We'll actually schedule appointments with top producing realtors, but that's out of the reach for most people. For the rest of you, this is totally reasonable. This is a program where it's done with you. You'll have 10 referral partner sponsorships that you can give away, and it's totally free for them. Okay, so there's no charge to them. They are also, you're going to have 10 HOA.com communities that you'll license. The beauty is when you license these communities, you're locking them up for yourself and you're locking out your competition. So you'll have 10, we'll work with you on choosing the right ones that have the most number of doors, the highest average value of the homes, and the highest average household income, which is really what you want. You'll still have the Win by Noon group coaching, the biz growth coaching, and everything else that you see here on the list. So you can go to HOA.com/LO. The way that that works is you'll fill out the application. Application's super easy, but we want to know how much volume you've done, how long you've been in the business. You know, we're anointing you as an expert, a mortgage expert. And so we need to make sure that we've only got quality people that are in the program. So as you go through that application process, we're going to ask you the type of business that you've done. Okay, so just know that once you complete the application, it's going to give you a link to actually schedule an interview with us. And then once you click and schedule your interview, you can go to the checkout page. You'll see all the 3 different programs and you can select the one that's right for you. Now, I'll let you know in advance, on Friday, we're doing a launch call. So if you sign up today, on Friday, we're going to introduce you to a kickoff call you're going to be invited to so that we can start your success as quickly as possible. So we're going to save the questions for just a minute, but that's kind of how that mortgage expert program works. That's kind of the better. I said good, better, best. That's the better program of the 3. The best is the elite expert, but that's a $20K deal. This mortgage expert program is less than you earn on one commission. Okay, it's under $4,000. It's $39.97 for a 2-year program. The cost of that's like $165 a month, I think, amortized. And we have a financing option on both of those programs. So quite frankly, if you want to finance it, I think with financing, it's under $200 on average, depending on your credit. For the mortgage expert program, the elite expert is just under $1,000 a month over the 2-year program, just so you guys know that going in. Here's a great testimonial from one of our guys, Daniel Herrera. He said this mortgage expert program gave him the confidence to cold call new realtors who are excited and saying yes. Guys, I'm telling you, all the realtors are saying yes to this, and it gives you something unique to offer, which is so important. He also said he received 2 leads from 1 realtor in just the first few days of signing up. That's the kind of success we want you to have. Todd, anything you want to share about that before we go into Expert Pro? Take that as a no. Okay, cool. Well, and then this is our standard program. We call it the Expert Pro program. This is a do-it-yourself. The price of this is a 1-year program. It's $997 for the 1-year program, or $99 a month if you want to do it that way. That still gets you in the program. You have 1 community and 1 referral partner that you can sponsor in the program for free, but you still get the biz growth coaching, the homeowner concierge service, the business alliance program, the community impact campaigns, and the Expert Pro profile and badge. So that's how that works. We're going to open it up for questions in just a moment. So if you have questions, go ahead and put those into the Q&A or into chat, and then we'll open those up in just a moment. But how do you get approved? Well, the way that starts is you go to HOA.com/LO. Once you do that, you'll answer the quick 7-question application, schedule a discovery call, and then decide which program is right for you. Okay, so you can actually do all 3 of those steps today. If you have any questions, we're going to walk you through it. In fact, we're going to open up the phone lines, and we'll stay on, answer any questions we can live. But if you want to talk to somebody one-on-one, And Spencer, if you'll go ahead and put that into chat so that people know how they can call and have a one-on-one conversation, my team standing by, we're happy to help you now. So if you're approved, what's going to happen is you're going to be promoted as the exclusive mortgage pro in between 1 and 20 communities, depending on which program you go for, okay? So super powerful. You're gonna get to sponsor between 1 and 20 realtors or other referral partners so that you've got something unique to give them. We're gonna give you the scripts if you're making those calls yourself. And of course, on the Elite Expert, we're gonna be doing that ourselves. Also, you're gonna get the Win by Noon Raving Referral Planner. This is a quarterly planner where every single quarter, you're going to get a new planner and you can literally manage your day, manage your productivity, just like Todd talked about, and actually measure the action that you're taking on a daily basis. Todd, anything you want to add about the Win by Noon group coaching or planner?
Well, I mean, of course, I always look at these things as part of the value stack, right? And so you've got this opportunity where, you know, you're getting these value adds. So I think the HOA.com program stands on its own, but when you add in these other things that you need and can use to even be more productive and grow, and it's all part of the package, to me, that's one of the things I think if I'm putting on my loan officer hat, I'm just looking at all of the other things that I currently want that I either don't want to spend the money on or can't spend the money on, or all the other things I have that now actually are part of this and I won't have to continue paying for outside of this opportunity.
Yeah, I'm glad you talked about that, Todd, because let's bring that into the conversation. I don't think you knew this was coming, but guys, one of the things that we're doing right now is we're working on what we call our Home Safe Report. Now, this is similar to like a HomeBot or a Home IQ, where every one of these homeowners is going to have the option of downloading and accessing their Home Safe Report. We say it's kind of like a Zillow meets home Carfax for your home, okay? So this will have a fair market valuation. They'll be able to receive monthly valuation reports, and it's going to be branded from you as a gift from you, co-branded with your realtor as well, so that every month we're keeping that repetition, keeping you in front of those homeowners. You're also going to have lifetime client campaigns where every month we're going to give you copy that you can send out and share with your people via email or social media so that you stay top of mind and just continually remind them of the value that you add so you can generate more raving referrals. We'll be creating a community news email and direct mail campaign that's going to go to all of these homeowners, as well as a Safe Kids Now, kind of a neighborhood watch program that really hasn't existed for the last couple of decades. But our communities are our homes. That's where we live. And it's important, especially in this day and age, that our kids are safe. And so you're going to be able to participate and to offer that program. Then we're going to create neighborhoods, deals and discounts, and referral rewards and rebate programs where homeowners can actually earn some mailbox money, have a side hustle by sharing what we do at HOA.com with people that they know. And it's just an affiliate program, but they're going to be able to participate and earn some extra income as well. And so what happens next is you'll apply at HOA.com/LO, schedule your expert interview. You'll schedule a one-on-one onboarding session. Go ahead, after you schedule your interview, you'll choose which program you're in, and then we'll work with you. We do a one-on-one onboarding once you're selected, and then we help you select those top 10 desired communities, or 1 to 20, I should say, depending on which program you're in. You'll sponsor your top referral partners. We'll mail you out the Win by Noon planners and books. And for those of you who are on the Elite Expert program, we're actually going to write blog articles and press releases for you. Those will be ghost written. The blog articles will be ghost written for you, creating content that you can stay top of mind. And then the press release is an announcement about you being selected as an elite expert. And then for the elite experts, we're also going to schedule a video interview where we create a custom video for you that you can have on your website and that you can share with all of your social sphere. So that's how the program works. We're just wrapping up here. Spencer, if you'll add into the chat, the HOA.com/RB Blueprint. I said RP Blueprint. I said at the beginning, you'll have the RP Blueprint, the Referral Partner Blueprint. That's our gift to you. Whether you decide to apply or not, Take this and put it into work. This is the secrets to your success. It's not secrets, honestly. It's back to the basics, but this is the work to do. And when you do it through HOA.com, we're here to support your success. Todd, anything you want to offer?
I would just ask you what's holding you back, right? I mean, don't be afraid to apply, right? There's different programs so that the team here can help you figure out which one is right for you. And ultimately, it's an opportunity. I mean, if you look at each of these things separately, like it's funny, a couple slides ago, Brandon, you showed that, we've got the emails that are created. And, one of the things that I always got frustrated as a loan officer at a big company was that the emails that I was going to send out every month, they were getting from, hundreds of other loan officers. And with the HOA.com emails, I know that they're not going to get that there's going to be just a handful of other folks in the community that I'm going to view more as partners, not as competition. That'll be sending out that. And so there's just so many little things here. When you actually go back and you think through all the things that Brandon outlaid, there's just so much value here that you can do to help grow your business starting now. And then I think, you nailed it with the referral blueprint, right? For those of you who don't feel like it's the right opportunity for you or aren't chosen, that's okay. That referral blueprint really does give you the plan. A lot of people are telling me, hey, here's what my goals are for 2023. And I say, awesome. What's the plan? How are you going to get there? And they look at me with blank stares. And so Brandon just shared with you his referral partner blueprint, which is part of that roadmap. But I would just encourage you to jump in with HOA.com. It truly is the easy button. And my goal is for you to not just hit your goals, but to blow through your goals. But how fast can we get you there? And that's really what I think that this team here at HOA.com can help you with.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said, Todd. And I'd say, guys, if you come on board, you go through the onboarding and you don't love what you have, we'll give you your money back. Like if you go through the process and we onboard you after the interview and you're formally approved and you don't feel like you are really getting the value that you thought you were going to do, we'll refund you. Like that's not what this is about. This isn't a money grab. We're here looking for partners, people that are true professionals that are going to represent our brand well, and quite frankly, that we can promote and build communities around. The reason that we chose the mortgage lenders is you guys have the time. Unless you're writing a loan application, the rest of your time is spent doing business development, where the realtors are out there showing properties like crazy. You guys are sitting at your home office or your work office, and you're looking for ways to add value to the realtors, add value to your other referral partners, and add value to your communities. So that's why strategically, and quite frankly, it's where Todd and I come from. It's our background. We know how to help you win, and we know that through you, we can help everybody else win. So we're going to stick around. We're going to answer some questions for those of you who need to jump off. Thank you for your time today. Make sure you download the Referral Partner Blueprint at HOA.com/RP Blueprint. You'll be able to download that. It's like 16, 17 pages PDF, but it's got scripts in there. It's got a list of exactly which home service professionals that you should be partnering with. It's got the top 21 co-marketing campaigns that you can utilize to promote your partners so that you're constantly giving value to them. So with that, let's go ahead and see what questions we got. Todd, I know you love to moderate these. I'm going to let you lead.
Yeah, I was looking there. So let me kind of jump in. A lot of people are asking about how do you select the communities? Number one is there's so many 370,000 HOAs out there. Plus, we're also be building out sites not for just HOA communities. We'll be doing it for non-HOA subdivisions as well. So think about, regardless of where you're at, what the opportunity is. And then, there's always questions about how do I pick a community, what communities are available. And I would tell you just not to worry about what communities are or aren't available. Like one of the people that I talked to, his top community he wanted was already taken, but that was okay. There was a community right next door. That was his second choice. And he is 100% gung-ho to focus on that community. So I think really you look at it one of two ways. You either pick a community that you know and love, right? I would think maybe start with where you live. And then if you don't already work with a real estate agent who is in that community, then you can look and see who is the real estate agent who does a lot of business here, who I want to partner with. And so you're going to use that to go out there and attract those new relationships. And then you also have partners that you know already, and you may not get the referrals you want. Maybe they're one of those folks that could refer you the one deal a month and help your income out. but they're only referring you one a quarter, or maybe they only refer you one all last year, and you're trying to figure out how do I get them to want to do more business with me, then that's a perfect person. You call up, you share the opportunity with them, and you ask them, hey, what community are you passionate about growing? And then they'll help you pick the community. And if they say, well, what community would recommend? Same thing I just said. Hey, maybe the one they live in, or maybe the one that they want to move to in the future, and they want to start cultivating business before they get there. And so ultimately, it's really just a blue ocean strategy right now. There's a lot of opportunity out there. And that's what you get by being here at the beginning of 2023. Because the bottom line is this, by the end of the year, we're going to have a lot of the best HOAs locked up. In fact, they're going to start getting locked up here sooner than later. And so now is your time to jump in and have the most choice and the most selection.
Yeah, and what you said is right on, right? Go to your realtors, go to those top producing agents, and maybe you see for sale signs on the regular. I used to live in Beaverton, Oregon, and in the area of town I lived in, there was this realtor, and 2 out of 3 for sale signs said Brian Belair's on it. He just marketed and farmed this area, about 10 different communities where he was the go-to guy. Every month, every homeowner within these communities heard from Brian Belair's, and as a result, he won all the listings. So look for those opportunities. Who are those realtors? And then what we were just teaching on our last group coaching call the hour before this is a wedge strategy, right? Todd mentioned he's sitting in a Keller Williams office right now. He was earlier today before our calls, he was doing a training, and they have a preferred lender on site, right? But what Todd's doing is he's using that wedge strategy. So he's getting his foot in the door. And then what's he doing? He's going to expand the number of relationships that he's using. He's using the investment strategy, right? So that he becomes famous for the investing mortgages. And then from there, once he's got those, it's just natural for them to want to do all their business with Todd's team, right? Even though he doesn't originate anymore, he's winning business for his team. So think about those communities, look for opportunities where, we called this guy, Brian Belair's, we called him the mayor of Murray Hill. He wasn't the mayor, but everywhere you went, you saw his name. Those are the types of opportunities, and you want to be the mortgage lender attached to every one of those listings. All right, cool.
Yeah, I love that. One of the things I taught this morning was I taught a win by noon strategy, and then I actually taught the same strategy on our win by noon coaching call today, so that all the members of HOA.com now can have the same information that I just shared with this office full of real estate agents, so that they can now have an opportunity to go out there and teach the exact same thing. Nothing they have to spend extra money on, nothing that they have to spend extra time to try to create it on their own. I actually walked them through what that conversation was so that they can go out there and do the exact same thing. We're still getting more questions on HOA. So once you sign up, then the HOA.com team will share with you a list of all of the HOAs that are available. What I would tell you is it's a little bit overwhelming. What you don't realize is there's hundreds, if not thousands, of HOAs in the community where you live. And so actually, when you see that list, it's actually almost detrimental, because it's going to be a lot of availability versus you just saying, hey, here's the laser focused ones I want to go after. And I would guess if you threw out 10, what do you think, Brandon, how many of those would be available?
Well, it depends on what market, right? So we've really been piloting prior to launching this program. We've been piloting in Phoenix, in Denver, Colorado, and in Austin, Texas. Those have been our hottest markets. So in those markets, you're going to have more competition. A lot of those communities are maybe taken. We'll just have that conversation. If you're in one of the other areas, we're kicking this off in large part in 2023, right? So now's the time to say yes to success, like Stacy said, and to come build with us. So I think it depends on the individual community or city that you're in, but the reality is there's good inventory now. There won't be good inventory for long. We did this same strategy with a previous online platform that I had built. And what we found is that we sold out quickly in the most desirable areas. And so if you're in a major market, the hot areas of town, where the communities where the realtors want to be, they want to own that market, right? So that's what you should be looking for. And again, like Todd said, it's really about your realtors. This is a value add play. Understand, are you going to get leads through this program? Sure, that's going to happen. But more importantly, we want you to focus on the referral partnerships that you're building. Because it isn't just about the deals that come through these neighborhoods. It's about all of the business that realtor does. And by you being locked into them, they're committing to do business with you. right? Once you've kind of used that wedge strategy to lock in their loyalty, now you can expand. Now you can follow up famously and start to win all of the business that they have. And Todd, I'd love you to share your Thursday strategy because I don't think most people know that.
Well, are you talking about my calling on Thursdays?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I think it's all about making phone calls. And as I mentioned, I called 3 days, 100 calls each day in December. And so for me, it's all about calling realtors on Thursdays. And I pick Thursdays for a number of reasons. And ironically, I've committed, it's in my personal calendar. I'm going to be calling 50, unless I'm out on the road speaking or training. I'm going to be calling 50 realtors every single Thursday in 2023. But I like Thursday because it's that protect your weekend strategy, right? We've all had it where a real estate agent has referred you a client at 5 o'clock on Friday night when you're trying to sit down for dinner with your family, or on Saturday when you're getting ready to walk into a movie. And so Thursday's your opportunity to protect your weekend. You know what they're going to be doing. If they'll be at an open house and they want you to print flyers, if your company allows for that type of thing, or if they're going to be taking out a client to get them out shopping. And so for me, Thursday is just a great day to do it. And transparently, it's not Monday. A lot of coaching programs encourage their loan officers to call on Monday. Some have to require 40 or more realtors on a Monday. And I find that on Mondays, realtors really actually would prefer to just actually catch up from the weekend. And so ironically, that's where I started last month. I called on a Monday and I thought, okay, I got a hold of 50 people, but it took me 110 calls. And then when I switched it up to Thursday, I actually talked to over 60 people in only 100 calls. And so I just realized that Thursday, which has always been my day, is just a way better day than any other day.
I love that. I've just been looking through chat. I see some questions about price. Let me be crystal clear on that. Okay. So we have a good, better, best type of an offer. The good is what we call Expert Pro. It's $9.99 for the year. Okay. That's one community. And if you go to hoa.com/close loans, you'll see all of those different options, the 3 different programs, and it's got all of the details for you. So you can go to that. We want you to go to hoa.com/LO so that you start the application process. There's no commitment. If you take a look at what we're doing and you're like, this just isn't, I'm not willing to do the work. One of the things that we require is that you be coachable. Guys, we view this as a partnership. This isn't just us trying to sell you a program. This is us partnering in your success. And quite frankly, the more successful we help you become through this program, the more success this helps for our platform, right? We view this as like Nextdoor meets Angie's List. That's what we're creating. We've got some national partnerships in play right now. We're under NDA, so I can't describe them specifically, but I can talk about the industry. So we have one of the biggest advertisers on TV in the insurance world. If I gave you the brand, you'd all know them. And you might see their yellow brand, and you might even see a big bird walking around. But you're going to be able to see different companies that are going to come on board as we do these partnership deals. We've got companies in the auto world, companies in junk removal right now that we're in conversation with. I'm missing a few, real estate, obviously. So as you can imagine, there's going to be some big players that are coming on board, because with the domain hoa.com, there's no other brand when it comes to homeowner associations. I ask this question all the time. When you think of homeowner associations, what's the number one brand you think of? I only get 2 answers. Number 1 is I don't know. Number 2 is there isn't one. So back to the programs. The first one is called Expert Pro. It's $9.99 for the year. Okay, you're going to get 1 community, 1 referral partner, and then a whole bunch of coaching and support. The next one is called our Mortgage Expert Program. This is by far the most popular. It's $39.97 for a 2-year program. There is financing available. We don't do it. Okay, so it's you either finance it yourself on your credit card, or we have a third-party finance company that you can apply. They'll take you through the whole process. Quite frankly, the people that are applying for that are getting approved for way more than $4,000. Like the last couple have gotten approved for $10,000. Some of those have chosen to use it to fund their other business building activities. That's between you and them. Okay, if you get funded for the program and you decide you want to be a mortgage expert, and that's what you get approved for after our interview, then that's $39.97. That covers 2 years, 10 communities and 10 referral partners. That's the done with you. You're going to be with Todd and I twice a month. You'll have access to our group coaching calls. And then we have a whole back office for you with all kinds of success videos and other stuff to help you. But we've really designed this so that you can do it in like 15 to 20 minutes a day. On the onboarding side, there's some learning to do, but then guys, it's easy. You're doing it anyway. So we make it super simple. We just empower you with something to separate yourself from the competition. So that's the good, that's the better. And I tell you that the Mortgage Expert program for $39.97, again, on average, you make $4,350 per loan application or closed loan. So one deal, you're net positive. That one is a total no-brainer. Now, the next one is more exclusive. That is the Elite Expert program. That's for people that are, like the Stacey Dowlings of the world that are crushing it out there. Stacey did over $100 million in 1 year. That's the kind of year we want people to have. But what we're looking for is people that are doing, have done at least $20 million in total production. Okay. So that's the qualification. And that's who we're looking for that program. But that is 20 communities and 20 done for you referral partnerships. We're going to call out, we're going to look up MMI, see who are the top producing realtors in that market. And then we're going to make those calls. And once they say yes, then we're going to schedule a face-to-face conversation with you, and you're going to get to determine if they're the right fit or not. Okay. So we tee it up where we're scheduling appointments with you with top producing agents, and you're going to sit down and meet with them. And if they say yes, and if you say yes, then they'll be locked in as that sponsored pro for those communities. So those are the three different programs. Todd, what other questions do you see in?
Yeah, so let me answer a couple other questions. So, part of what I chose to do was lead by example. And, the fact that my team is a paying member of HOA.com and I jumped on the phone and make calls, there's no better way for me to coach you through how to do this than to do it myself. And so when people are asking questions like, how do you find out if a realtor's already part of a community before reaching out? There's a few different ways to do that. One is you could ask a title rep. Again, you want to have relationships with title partners because guess what? They know other real estate agents that they can refer you to so that you're more likely to close and be able to do business with them, and they can look it up by specific community. Brandon just mentioned MMI, which is a program that you may or may not have access to where you work to, but that'll actually give you where you can put in a zip code and see specifically who's doing information in that area. And then the other way is literally you just drive through there. I mean, if you live in a neighborhood, you probably know who's marketing that neighborhood, right? I was at the grocery store last week, and the little thing that was between me and the grocer in front of me had a realtor on there who I know markets the neighborhood. I thought to myself, if I was going to market this area, I would probably go after that real estate agent. Who's sending out postcards and other flyers because that would be a great person to market to. So you may have to find someone who knows someone in that neighborhood to ask them, hey, Mom, I know you live in Echo Canyon, who's marketing that neighborhood? And then that would be someone to call. So it's just lots of tactics out there to figure it out. But just don't be scared of that. That's the part. Those are things that we talk about on those coachings, twice a month. We hear from other people because they may have done it differently than I chose to do it. And so those are, I think some great opportunities. Someone's also asking, Brandon, do you need to select right away after applying? No, you'll have time because once you've reserved, you've got your 10 communities that you're going to go after, then you will start working on recruiting those people that you want. So, what I found for our team was literally it took 1 day of calling to find 10 people for 10 communities. But, again, it depends what your calling schedule is going to look like. It might take you a couple of days or a couple of weeks to pick out the right people.
Yeah, and I know we just had a mortgage expert who's changing companies. He said, I want to buy in because I want to make sure I'm in the program, but I'm moving companies after these last couple of loans close at the beginning of January. So we said, no problem, just sign up so you're in the program. You can start getting the coaching and then move over once, claim the communities once you move your license. I see Nikki said, we don't have many HOAs in my area. Can we do other areas? Yeah, great question, Nikki. Absolutely. So we're building community pages for every neighborhood in America. If there's a neighborhood, we look at it as a subdivision in the data feed. And I didn't mention the data feed, but we have over 260 million consumer records in our data feed, everything from not only their name, address, phone number, email, social, income, employment, children, net worth, and property equity. Okay. So we know it's every homeowner in America pretty much. I mean, it's not quite, but it's way over 95% of every homeowner in America. So we're building these out not only for the HOA communities, but obviously we're starting there. That's our brand, HOA.com, the best domain on the planet when it comes to HOAs. But we are also creating this for the non-HOA community. So great question. I see one from Justin Smith. If we get approved for Mortgage Expert, are we able to upgrade to Elite anytime? The answer is yes on that. Do both levels offer monthly pay, or do we have to get an in-house financing to do so? Yeah, so we're not the bank. That's just not the business that we're in. So the only program that's a month to month is the Expert Pro, because that's our normal program. The Mortgage Expert, the Elite Expert are special just for the mortgage industry. For those, if you go through the process, we have a financing application. Typically, those get approved within 24 hours. And again, like I said, on average, people are getting approved for more than the $4,000. So that's definitely an option for you. Great question. Todd, you seen any others?
Well, I was just laughing at Nikki's. I was looking up on my phone. I'm like, okay, because I don't live in an HOA, and I live in University Estate. So I'm like, all right, that'll be perfect. We'll build that out to be the expert of our own domain. I think we answered most of them. So for some reason we missed your question. You just go ahead and retype it.
I see one
here.
I see one from David. Once you have an HOA locked up as an expert partner, can an elite partner or anyone else take it away? No. Once you've licensed that community, we're licensing it to you exclusively. So maybe you're on the mortgage expert level, 10 communities, the $39.97. Those 10 are licensed by you. Okay. And I don't see this as a question, but I know it's come up before. We give you first right of refusal. So that at the end of that license, at the end of the 2-year term, then you get to renew. If you want to keep staying on the program, we'll allow you to do that because we want you to. We want you to be on this program for life. Typically, it's going to be a 1-year program, but we're giving you guys an extra year as part of this to build this out and to really make sure that you've got the time to go succeed in a big way. But those of you who come in now, you'll be grandfathered in under the same terms. Okay, so the price will go up. Not a may, the price will go up for other people in the future. So that's why one of the rewards of taking action is you get to take advantage and lock in the current pricing. In the future, the price will go up, but you guys will be grandfathered in and you can renew at those same terms. Okay. Any other questions, Todd, that you're seeing?
I didn't see anything else on there. One of the interesting things that I would say, we talked about the fact that this is going to be an interesting year in our business, right? And the year is going to be whatever you choose to make of it. It doesn't matter to me whether there's 100,000 or 50,000 or 10,000 homes sold in the area where my team works. I know they're going to get their percentage of them. And all I've done for them is stack the deck, right? I took action for them and got them signed up so that they could go ahead and have this be, kind of the silver bullet, so to speak, the easy button for our team to grow. And so what I would just ask you, if it's not HOA.com, because it may not be the right fit for you, what is that plan, and make sure you take action on it? Because really in the end, the bottom line is that there's people that are cheering against you. And to me, that's one of the things that frustrates me a lot, is there's a lot of people that are going to get out of the business. Even at this meeting this morning, they said, hey guys, it's going to be a hard business. You may not all be here at the end of the year. They said that to the people in the room. And they said, remember, we had, they named like 3 or 4 people who were no longer here. They went back to being servers or other industries. And I just love the fact that HOA.com is going to help you be the buffalo, help you get through this storm faster.
I love it. Todd, I got a question for you from Nancy. She says, how long are your calls if you're doing 100 a day?
They're as long as they need to be, but as short as they can be. I always, and keep in mind that when you call 100 people, there's a rule out there that is a law. It's called Parkinson's Law, and it's activity expands to fill the time available. And so the first day I did it from 8 to 5:30. And again, I was on Zoom the whole day. I literally meal prepped. I went, I was on the phone. I went and grabbed my lunch. I heated up in the microwave, and I literally, ate kind of off screen here. But I called all day. It took me from 8 to 5:30. The next Monday, I had Monday Night Football. I was going to the game with my brother-in-law. So guess what? I only had till 4:30. He really wanted to go earlier, but I said, I need till 4:30 to call. And so guess what? It took me all the way from 8 to 4:30 to make those calls, and then switched up to Thursday before Christmas. And I got a wife. My wife said, what, you're going to call all day? She's like, no, you need to be done by noon. And so I called on 4 hours on that last day. And I talked to more people. So it's really, there's a skill to it. And I don't know when. I don't want to make a promise of a day I can't compete, but I'll probably end up doing at least one, if not more, open mic call days again for the HOA.com members to be part of and listen in. But there's an art to getting someone on the phone and having a conversation and being interested in them and finding out, it's super easy in December. Hey, what are you doing for the holidays? And being interested in having that conversation. And then once I hit that point where they committed to whatever it was I was looking for them to do, to say, awesome, hey, gosh, you know what, Brandon, I know you're super busy now. I don't want to keep up all your time, and to get back off the call. My longest call was 22 minutes. My shortest call was just 2-3 minutes, where I still felt like I connected. I took time of each of the calls, and I would tell you this, it's getting to sound really odd, but the one caller that I talked to who was thinking about leaving the business after 10 years and going back into the medical field was my 22-minute call. Because guess what? She didn't have a whole lot else going on. And I tend to find that busy agents they respect my time as well. Although I did talk to, one of my meetings this week. Tomorrow I'm talking to the number one realtor in America, who I called in one of those calls. And then on Friday, I'm having lunch with the number one real estate agent in Arizona, who I think was number 2 in the U.S. in 2021. I don't know where he finished up in 2022. And again, these are people who answered the phone I didn't expect to, and actually had pretty in-depth conversation. The one was via text, but the other was a live call. There's people, listening in. I'm like, hey, I'm calling the number one guy. And of course, I saw all these people stop calling and listen in on my conversation. And so I think there's just a science to that. And so, again, I did 100 calls before Christmas in 4 hours, talking to 60 people. Again, some of the people replied back via text. Hey, Todd, sorry I couldn't grab your call. Hey, I was just calling to wish you a Merry Christmas. They would wish me Merry Christmas back. I'd say, awesome. Hey, what are you doing? So then I could multitask. I could do 2 calls at once, but I did have conversations. I would call them a quality conversation back and forth with these folks, because that you've got partners who want to, communicate via text. And so, again, that was one of the things that we unpacked on one of our Win by Noon with Raving Referrals coaching calls, where I unpacked some of those conversations and people who listened in, asked questions, and gave, what their big takeaways were. And so that's kind of the fun part about this group, is that we're all trying to learn together and learn from each other.
I love it. And again, you're in the lab. So guys, if you're listening to this, just so you're understanding what Todd's inviting you to, is you'll be actually able to join him on Zoom. You'll be on a Zoom session. You'll be on mute. Okay. You'll be able to listen to Todd making these calls directly and cold calling realtors. So you can hear the expert live. And, a lot of you just don't have the confidence because you don't know what to say. But when success is modeled for you, when you can hear somebody that's made hundreds of calls just last month, it makes it so much easier for you, because now you're confident, and that's super important. But you'll be making calls at the same time. Todd doesn't just want you listening. He wants you dialing, smiling, and dialing at the same time. And then anytime, in between calls, you want to listen to one of his conversations, you'll be able to do that. Secondarily, the other thing is, Todd, I want to talk about the quality conversations, because you are so skilled at tracking your results. And this is where a lot of people don't live up to it, right? They aren't getting all of the productivity that they can, because they're really not accounting for the action that they're taking. And that's why I love the Win by Noon system, because you mark it down, and at the end of the day, you know exactly what you've done to win by noon. So as you did those, the first 2, I think, were 100, or did you do 3 100 dial days in December? 3. So you made 300 calls. How many quality conversations did you have out of those 300 calls?
Well, I actually made 310, because in my brain, even though I told everyone I was only going to call 100 people, in my mind, I set a standard for myself, and my standard on the first day was I wanted to talk to 50 people and have 50 quality conversations. So quality conversation wasn't, hey, Todd, I'm busy, can you call me back? Or, hey, dumb loan officer people, I don't want to talk to you, click. That was someone I actually had a conversation with. And so I actually called 110. So my total was 310. And then during those days, the actual conversations I had was 164 during those days. But what it doesn't account for is all the people who called me back afterwards and all the meetings that I got afterwards. I mean, the reason I'm at the Keller Williams office is because I called the guy and had a conversation with him. Now, I sort of had to fess up, because I said to his group, well, hey, I made 300 calls, because they were talking about what activities, and what do you do? And I'm like, I made 300 calls. And I could just tell Ty's going, okay, I was one of Todd's calls, but that's okay, right? That's okay. They love the fact that I've got a system and that I'm making these things happen. And so that's really the The crime is in not taking the action because, Brandon, I think you said it, right? You're either doing loans, taking applications, working on loan, or you're in the business development business. And so really that's where you have to say, is this a job or is this a career? And if this is your career, you've got to take action and you need the best tools to be the best you can be in your career. And that's really where, again, I'm just looking to make it easy for the team. I'm not embarrassed to say that. Right. It makes it easier for me to be their leader. It's easier for me to do that. And then, like I said, I get to share it with all of the members of HOA.com, which I think is really great. Nancy asked if I use a dial or any technology. I didn't. There were some people on there. There was a guy from Florida who had, there's two people on the first day that both had dialers. And guess what? They were done a heck of a lot faster than me. But for me, it's everyone's in my phone. So, I just use Siri, hey Siri, call, Brandon Barnum, and I could call Brandon. And so, those are the things that you do to make it easier. But yeah, I could have used that technology, but for me, it's a lot more peaceful just to, okay, who do I want to call next? And what is the conversation I want to have?
Well, it's powerful and it's intentional. And, one of the things that we teach our team is the WIN method. And that's why we love that it's win by noon, right? WIN is an acronym. What's important now? If you're not taking a loan application, what's important now? What should you be doing in this moment? And right now you're learning, right? So you're expanding your vision for 2023. You're equipping yourself with a strategy and with systems that are going to help you grow your business. So you're working on your business right now rather than in your business. Okay. Once we hang up this call, what's important next is another way that you can look at the acronym of WIN. Todd, I'm so grateful for you. I know we could stay on here and talk all day. I've already had you for 2.5 hours. So thank you for spending the last 2.5 hours with me and with us. Guys, if you have any other questions, number one, go to HOA.com/LO, put in your application. There's no obligation. If you take a look at what we're doing and it's not right for you, no harm, no foul. We wish you the best. Our commitment to you is to help you win. Guys, we want to help you be the buffalo to not only survive the storm, but to thrive. By the end of this 2023, we want to help you achieve your financial goals, but that only comes through action. Now, we've got a system that makes it easier. And literally, our loan officers are batting 1,000. I was talking to Stacy Dowling the other day, and she said, oh my gosh, I made these calls, and it was an absolute laydown. Every realtor said yes. Okay. So just maybe sign up for our mortgage expert program. The ROI is one deal. Like you need to close one extra loan as a result of having 10 communities and 10 referral partnerships, the coaching of Todd Bookspan. I didn't mention this, we send you 11 copies of the Raving Referrals book. Why? Because we want you to have one for yourself so that you understand how to boost your referral business. We also give you 10 to give away for free. Okay, so you can give one to each of your realtors or referral partners, and that way you're constantly sharpening the saw and raising your game. So I want to thank every one of you for joining us today. If you haven't already, go to HOA.com/RP Blueprint. That's the Referral Partner Blueprint. Download that PDF. That'll help you take action today so that you can win by noon tomorrow. Todd, any final thoughts?
How can I top that? Take action today so you can win by noon tomorrow. All I would say is this. The thing that I love about this is that you have an opportunity not just to help yourself, but to help other businesses around who you care about. You have the opportunity to find the realtors that you know and love, or one that you want to know and love, and bring them in and help them do more business. You've got the opportunity to reach out to all the other professionals in the community to add them into your network, to be the community connector alongside of that realtor partner. And so I would say this, not only, all the things we said are helping you build your business, but just think about when you get to the end of 2023 and you can look back at not just the families you impacted by helping more families with home loans, but all these other businesses and their families that you impacted by helping them do more business together.
I love it. I love it. I've got two things before we wrap. Number one, if you sign up today, we're going to have a launch event, a launch training on Friday at noon. I think it's noon Arizona time. We'll get you the details once you get approved for the program. So we're going to literally help you launch your success this week. And number two, that we have some branch managers and some companies that are on here. We're super excited. Stacy Dowling has set up a private masterclass for the Revolution Mortgage crew. So I know we've got a bunch of the branch managers. We're going to do a separate masterclass. Todd, I don't think you'll be with us, but I'll be there. And so Stacy, thanks for setting that up. We're excited to see all you Revolution guys next Tuesday. And then if you're a branch manager or maybe an executive for a company, we're looking for the right companies to partner with. We've got the top 100 mortgage companies identified. We have a number of them that we're in conversations with now. So the time is now. The best opportunity to make sure that you lock up those zip codes, those communities, is to get in now. We'll work with you. My team will work with you to make sure we've got the best communities to serve you best. But thank you for investing your time. I really respect the fact that you're investing your time working on your business. Now it's time to go work in your business. So go take action, win by noon tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be partnering and seeing you together soon. All right.